Xbox is dead, but the new Xbox might actually kind of be okay. We had a new Xbox Developer Direct where developers pretend that they are off the script and telling you about their video game without people from PR overlooking every single thing about the script, and as if they didn't have teleprompters when they very clearly do. However, the content of this Developer Direct was very different from previous Developer Directs in a couple of important ways. The most important one was immediacy. Games that are coming out like almost now, which is indeed refreshing. Given the fact that we've spent so long hearing different developers talk about the games that they were making without ever feeling like they were coming close, and especially hearing about rumors of games that maybe exist and maybe will one day be available. Trust me, the last thing I want to do at this particular moment is turn this into a PlayStation and Xbox debate, because as we have established, Xbox isn't participating in that. Oh no, these games, they're all coming to PS5. Don't worry. Xbox is just another studio making games for every single platform, because otherwise they can't make enough money back. But the most recent thing that we really got from PlayStation was Intergalactic, which not only did apparently a lot of people not like it, at least that's what the dislikes seem to show. The more interesting part about Intergalactic is, when will we play that game? Got a recent report that the PlayStation 6 might be coming in 2027, and I think Intergalactic might be a launch game for it. But not today. Xbox said games now. In some cases, literally right now. And I am inclined to give Xbox a lot of good grace with this Developer Direct, and I am completely aware of my bias that it is primarily because they announced Ninja Gaiden 4, and I am who I am, and I love Ninja Gaiden. It also might be because they announced Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which, don't be fooled, it's Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma Black, which to a lot of people is a deal breaker. Not for me though. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. It's good. But that was a great way to open a show and make me feel very happy about video games existing. And then I just kind of rode that the rest of the way. With Ninja Gaiden 4 being the game that is the farthest away, as well as Ninja Gaiden 2 Black being, the one that was immediately launched. But the rest of the show contained some pretty mixed things in my opinion. But my favorite part about them is that we're going to figure out if they are mixed really soon. Along with the absolute goats at Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja coming back at it with Platinum Games to make Ninja Gaiden 4, which looks great. I'm not sure about the cybernetic Tokyo setting and the new Ninja, but Ryu is there, and I think he plays a pretty big part in the thing. From what they said in the Developer Direct, they were like, we think these are two different playstyles that people will enjoy, so maybe Ryu is like half of the game and has 8 weapons or something. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. But riding off of that, we went straight into South of Midnight, which looks different. I did record like a reaction video to the whole thing, and while I liked a lot of the things that they showed for South of Midnight, I also felt that it was the presentation that was the most fake in a sense. This is just like, we keep evolving on Batman combat. It never stops. Like Arkham Asylum just said like, this is the core of what modern combat in platformer adventure games is going to be, and we just keep doing it. It had a lot of fluff. Let's put it that way. The developers kept saying like, our combat system is so innovative because it's the Arkham system, but it's about spinning. It's about weaving. Look at that. We weave and unweave. Like, wow. But they kept saying that it was so incredible and innovative. But so you hit the thing with the according thing, and then you can also pull enemies, or you can pull yourself to them. So basically you're telling me that this is a combination of Devil May Cry 4 and DMC, and it won't play as good as either of those games. Which is an unfair thing of me to say, because the truth is, that's just a perfectly fine combat system, and the only way that it's going to be good is if the act of playing it feels good, right? Like if the sound effects and the way that the combos flow and just the visual impact of things all meshes together in a way that's really enjoyable. to you when you're playing the game. That's a lot of action games being good, is actually just how it feels, not necessarily how crazy, innovative, or complex it is. But the need to kind of upsell me on something that's just like, hey guys, we made like a pretty good one of those combat systems, kind of tired me out for a second. But then a lot of the other stuff regarding South of Midnight is really exciting. I like that claymation style. Haven't seen the new Wallace and Gromit movie, but I like those movies. I like this style. And it had a lot of video game energy, which is a big thing for me. Some of the platforming and general movement reminded me of things like Gravity Rush and kind of like the flow of jumping and stuff. And the whole concept of our levels are each themed around one like big legendary monster, and everything is themed around them and completely original and with its own soundtrack, kind of gave me some good video game vibe. A little bit of that old school like PS2 era vibes. Like, explore 5 different worlds. What is this? A Mario game? What is this? A Psychonauts? I'm in. Tell me more. And there's just something fun and refreshing about a game being like, yeah, we made 5 distinct levels to explore based around a boss. Do you guys remember Sly Cooper? It's like that, I guess. I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. Sounds fun. Sounds like a good time. Like, it's not blowing my mind away, but I'm definitely very interested to play it because it might just be a great experience. I guess that's what you get when you're like producing single player games that are just good, right? It's also been confirmed that it's a $40 game, which, hey, sounds good to me. Now, on the flip side, a game that I am incredibly positive on at the moment is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I don't know French. What a game. Ever since this was announced, I am on the record. It's one of the things about being on YouTube that things live on. I said this game looks really good, and it still looks really good. It's a game with a ton of amazing voice talent, new studio, interesting premise to it. I wonder how they're going to execute the story. But when it comes to, we made a JRPG, but it's not, you know, the J. We made it in France. Guys, it has the world map. And this one also felt slightly the most authentic to a certain degree. I like the way that they had the art dude be like, I wanted every place to be like centered around a couple of colors and textures. So like this one is red and white. All right, that sounds like something that you actually did. And there's a world map, a classic ass world map, and Balloon Man to travel it. In turn-based combat, plus active real-time elements, also known as the Mario and Luigi RPG system. And I am 100% on board with this. I love the way that this game looks. I love the way that the world looks. I love the part where they said that there's entire levels and boss fights and secrets and powerful weapons and skills that you can only obtain if you explore and take on the game's toughest challenges. Because that's the type of shit that I look for in a really good JRPG. That is my jam. I love everything about Expedition 33. I am very excited for it. And it's coming in April. Same month as South of Midnight. That's going to be a good month. Turns out this year's shaping up really good, real quick. But if only there were like something really good to play in May. I would love to play something amazing in May. So yeah, Doom, The Dark Ages, looks interesting. Look, I am incredibly excited for Doom. I think that Doom 2016 is an incredible game, and I think Doom Eternal is an incredible game that wasn't the most for me. That's not to say I think it's bad or that it would ever be bad or anything like that. I always thought Doom Eternal was going to be good, and I really enjoy a lot of parts about Doom Eternal. It's just that, as they said in the presentation, they went from run and gun to jump and shoot, and the jumping part, a lot of like the mobility aspect of Doom, while I love mobility shooters, was not executed in a way that I actually enjoyed too much. There was a lot of excessive like weapon swapping and hooking things in the general movement of it that kind of became annoying to me on the higher difficulties, but I definitely appreciated it and enjoy it. And now with Doom The Dark Ages, they are saying that the new motto is stand and fight, which sounds like a downgrade until you see the tools, but then you hear them explained and then I have questions. So now we have a shield to block and parry and throw and a bunch of stuff, and it's all one button, contextual, so it's a movie. That's kind of like my first reaction to something like that. And as they keep expanding and talk about we have 3 distinct melee weapons with their own combos and they're also just one button, like, this could be really good and work really well, or it could be annoying, Simon says, react with the right button to all of the colorful circles that appear on screen in time to the circles filling out. And it turns it into a weird rhythm game. And that still might be really good. I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't put my hands on it. But I trust the team that made the other 2 Dooms because I think both of them are excellent. And I'm hoping that this one's going to be cool. I definitely like the overall aesthetic and a lot of the things that they're talking about of the more open level design and exploration and the way that they seem to be evolving some of that stuff. Cybernetic Dragon sounded kind of corny when they sold it, but if you think about it, it's a cybernetic dragon with Gatling guns, and you can ride it around the different maps as you search for your God of War style side quest areas to do little puzzles and upgrade stuff to kill demons better. I'm not gonna complain, man. That sounds awesome. It's that simple. You're telling me I can parry people with my saw shield and then flail them to death off a cliff? I'm with it. But a lot of what I saw there was, and I'm very surprised to be saying this, it reminded me of Bulletstorm. And that's a good thing, by the way. So I have a lot of faith, even though I do have some questions as to exactly what the design of Doom the Dark Ages is with some of that contextual stuff. Now chase the green ball that is the one you need to counter from all of the enemies' projectiles. Go like move around and hit that one back and then throw your Captain America shield and then a whole line of enemies explodes. And I'm like, okay, let's see how this all comes together, you know? But I can't not be excited for Doom. So I guess what I'm saying is that the Ninja Gaiden 4 high definitely rode out for a very long time. But the thing I like the most is that this new era of Xbox not being a console manufacturer and just like being a studio that puts out games and also puts them out on PlayStation and just doesn't really care and just wants people to sign up to Game Pass is putting out games. These aren't even nearly the whole total number of games. There's so much more stuff that we're waiting for, including stuff that is supposed to be very close by, like Fable, like Gears of War, like Oblivion remake. Make a lot of games, make them good, make them single player, or mostly single player in some cases, and let us enjoy those games. Give that value to Game Pass. At the end of the day, this is a system that, in my opinion, gives value to consumers because it gives a lot of different good video games that we can all sit down and really enjoy. That's good. So I want to say, great job, Xbox. As a presentation, maybe could have been better. But when it comes to the games that you're pumping out, I'm excited. I am very, very curious about why there was no mention of Avowed. I thought Avowed would be more present because it's going to come out soon. And it seems like the marketing for Avowed is minimal. And I hope that's not an indication of the quality of the game because I really want Avowed to be good. I'm really excited for Avowed. I really want that game to be something different and provide me some of the Bethesda energy that I want in my life, but in the Pillars of Eternity universe, which is a universe that I really enjoy. So please don't let this be a sign that Avowed maybe isn't ready. It should be 100% ready. They delayed it after it was done exclusively to get it out of the holiday period and give it its own slot. It's not because it wasn't done. It was done. They probably polished it up a little bit more, but it was done. This was just like a better angle for the release date. I don't know. Fingers crossed. This moment in time for Xbox, this developer direct, the games they're working on, where they're headed, gave me a little bit of faith that despite all of the terrible stuff going on at Xbox, despite Tango Gameworks, despite the pursuit of profit, despite Phil Spencer's screw-ups here or there, despite the public knowledge that they're chasing a slight weird monopoly and are desperate to make a Game Pass a thing, despite, you know, buying out every studio under the sun and kind of putting them at risk to certain degrees, maybe they're finding their way. Maybe Xbox is finding their identity in this everything's an Xbox. And if at the end of the day, we as consumers get good games to play, sounds good to me. Well, that was my take on some stuff. By the way, I've been Mug. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to the patrons up on the $1 patron wall, which support everything that I do. I greatly appreciate it, but it's crazy to look at this wall and think that like that many people support me. Thank you. And you know the whole deal. If you want more from me, reviews, news, retrospectives, and everything from gaming, enjoying games, hopefully just having a good time whenever we can, subscribe for more. Thank you so much, and I'll see you